Hey nerds, and welcome to CW's Flash, Theories and Conspiracies. I'm Brian from Good Nerd Bad Nerd. This week we had episode 22, Rogue Air. It was a nice play on the Con Air, and that's basically what we got, Prison Transport episode. You really got to feel this episode how conflicted Joe is with everything that's going on, with the meta-human prison, with just kind of that vigilante status that Barry really does have. But he sees the value in it, and he knows how important it is. That being said, this was just a great episode to see how far Barry was willing to go to save lives, even lives of bad guys. And it's something he had to learn, that you just can't trust some people, and that being Captain Cold and his sister Gold Glider, who is officially called that now thanks to Cisco. She buttered him up and had her, messed with him, and so he finally gave her a name, which we've all been waiting for that, because he is the omnibus of character names, and that's his job. That's one of his jobs, apart from being the tech guru. But the characters that were being transported and released, we had Weather Wizard, Nimbus, the guy who turns into the mist. We had Peekaboo, the teleporter, Rainbow Raider, who was the mind control guy that was from the episode that Arrow and Flash were a part of last time. And then Deathbolt, who was played by Doug Jones. And Doug Jones is a fantastic character actor. He was the Silver Surfer. He played the body of Abe Sapien in Hellboy. I just wish we had gotten more of Deathbolt, because I think he would have been a real fun character. But, if you owe Captain Cold money, I guess it doesn't matter. Which I like that it was such an arbitrary reason that he shot him in the face for. But it was a really, really fun episode, really cool, but that's not what got this episode, for me, what got me excited about it. So, first of all, clear connections to Green Lantern. This is an abandoned Ferris airfield, and it was abandoned after their test pilot went missing. Okay, that's a clear reference to Hal Jordan, who is the first Green Lantern from Earth. If I had to guess, I would say that Hal Jordan is on Oa right now, receiving his training to be the Green Lantern for this sector. If you saw the Ryan Reynolds movie, he got his training in about an hour. That's not the case. I like that he's getting a real kind of extended period of training, I assume. If you want a good movie that shows kind of what he went through, you should check out the animated Green Lantern First Flight. It's got kind of that Denzel Washington Training Day feel, where it's just he gets his training on the beat with Sinestro. So that's a good movie if you want some background on Green Lantern. But yeah, we've got to be getting Green Lantern in this universe soon. We won't be getting him necessarily in the new spin-off, Legends of Tomorrow. And I think they really are trying to set this up with things that are going to happen maybe in the season finale, and that's why they released the trailer for that today. And it looks outstanding, and Captain Cold is in it. So that moment where he says Barry owes him one, that may come back into play with this Legends of Tomorrow show. So we'll see. But if you haven't seen the trailer, check it out. It's online. Totally worth it. But the last thing, and there's a few promos for the season finale out there, so if you haven't seen them, you need to check them out. But one of them, we see Barry going back in time. Now the question here, and this is going to be the big question for season 2, does Barry save his mom, or does he just say goodbye? Because you're going to get drastically different outcomes. If he just says goodbye, timeline really doesn't change. But if he saves her, that's when we get into Flashpoint. And I really hope they do that, because that just blows everything up. And here's my thought. If they do go with him saving her, they have a half of a season to really play with that, I think. Legends of Tomorrow doesn't start until kind of the mid-season for Arrow and Flash. So that first chunk of the season could be the Flashpoint timeline. And you would just get to do some really cool things, some really fun things, out of character things, because it is this alternate timeline. And then that way, once things are set right, Legends of Tomorrow could come back into play. And maybe that has something to do with who the villain is in Legends of Tomorrow, which is Vandal Savage. If you don't know who Vandal Savage is, please go back and check out the Bruce Timm Justice League. because there's some great episodes with who he is. If that's too much for you, go back and watch Justice League Doom, because he is the main villain there as well. So I love what they're doing. I really hope they do go all in and make this the Flashpoint tie-in, because he'll always be wondering. He'll always be wondering what would happen if he did save his mom. I'm sure he's going to get the warnings that it's a bad idea, it's going to have major repercussions, but since he can time travel, he's always going to be wondering. But what do you guys think? Do you think Barry will actually go back in time and save his mom? Or do you think he's just going to have a moment and say goodbye and, maybe find some way to free his dad? I can't wait till next week, and looking forward to what they're going to do with this, and then season 2 and everything that's coming from that. So for CW's Flash Theories and Conspiracies, this has been Brian from Good Nerd Bad Nerd.